The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
But we've talked a lot about youth here, and I think that segues very well into our next segment here. Now up to bat, Hunter Greene just signed a big extension, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon, 6 years. 5 years with 5 years with a team option is what it is.
Yes.
5 years, $72 million, buys out his ARB years. Brandon, is Hunter Greene worth the buyout?
I think the way that they structured the contract, yes, it's backloaded. We know that Cincinnati is not very keen on spending a lot of money on their payroll, which is fine. And do you want to hear my thoughts on that? It's not happening today. Just go back to Monday's show. Yeah, I like the way that they did this deal. 6-year deal, covers the 2023 through 2028 seasons, and then the club option for 2029. $53 million guaranteed, but some escalators, award bonuses could push this up to $96.2 million. Here's how it's structured. $1 million salary in 2023 jumps up to $3 million, then $6 million, then $8 million in 2026, $15 in 2027, $16 in 2028, and then a $21 million club option with a $2 million buyout for 2029. With the potential, I mean, this is just, he's still only 23. I mean, I remember getting a Sports Illustrated cover of Hunter Greene when I was, wow, that must have been 2019 maybe. And it was when he was in high school. Or no, it might have been before that because he was drafted in 2017, I realize now. Might have been before that. But just the raw stuff that he has, LJ. I mean, no pitcher is going out there and throwing 30 pitches over 100 miles an hour in an outing, and has looked pretty good to start the year. Walk numbers are down, which was the big thing for him. Can he keep the walks down and hit the bat finder, as we like to call it, LJ? He's done
his favorite pitch is the bat finder.
Yeah, he's done a good job at not throwing the bat finder. I want to say so far this year, but yeah, LJ, what do you think? Do you like the way that it's backloaded and they save a lot of money on the guarantee side, and it's more up to Hunter Greene to earn the rest of it, or how do you feel?
I think this is a great extension and a good idea. It's always a good idea operating under one assumption, that this guy's going to be good. That's where I struggle on this, because I am not nearly as high on Hunter Greene and the bat finder he throws as you are. I'm going to bring up a couple things here, entirely mostly statistical on this. We're talking about one of the hardest throwers in the league, certainly exciting, certainly a guy people will show up to the ballpark for, and that's important to have those guys. But we're talking about a guy in the 99th percentile in fastball velocity, but the 24th percentile in average exit velocity, and 25th percentile in hard hit percentage. Brendan, he's not that far off in terms of barrels either. So, and that's this year, not last year's numbers. So I don't think the growth has necessarily been there that we've seen to prove that he's going to, add enough to his game. But at the end of the day, there's that, and there's the fact that let's look at some similar pitchers based on velocity and movement. Comparatively, we're talking about Jacob deGrom this year, Garrett Cole last year, Sandy Alcantara, Spencer Strider. Those are the types of guys based on his velocity and ball movement he is similar to. Why is there such a disparity between their numbers and his numbers? When is that going to click in the mental side of things to get sharp and to, put the pitches where they need to be and find those places? I'm concerned that that's not coming, especially when you look at his pitch mix so far this year. It seems like his plan to increase his odds and go from, granted he's got a 3.57 ERA to start this season, from down from a 4, but his solution has been throw the fastball more, which great. It's gonna go by a lot of guys, but when those guys connect on it, it's going to be a hard hit quite a bit of the time. And so I just feel like this current way that Hunter Greene is set up, he's going to get caught at some point here sooner rather than later this year and have a really rough stretch. I'm not convinced that he's going to be able to pull this all together and put together actual competitive Major League Baseball seasons. But if he can, this is a great deal. I just don't want to be sitting here watching the Cincinnati Reds desperately want to send him down in 2026 and look at all the money that's on the payroll.
A few things, like I was talking about with the Rays and Taj Bradley, like Hunter Greene is still 23, so a lot of time to develop, first of all. But I do agree that, with the pitch arsenal and the similar pitches based on velocity and movement, you're in some good company there. But you're not getting results, or at least those exact results like those guys. And so it's like, where is it going wrong? Well, also on Baseball Savant, LJ, it shows you the pitcher's batted ball profile, and then it shows you similar pitchers to that batted ball profile. Let me tell you, these names are not Spencer Strider, Sandy Alcantara, Garrett Cole, Jacob deGrom. This is Blake Snell, Kenley Jansen, Trevor Richards, Paul Sewell, who did have a good year last year, Trevor May. It's not the same name. So I guess my point here is, look, we know he has the stuff. We know he can strike batters out, which you need to be able to do that to stay in the majors. The walks have come down, at least to start this year, which we like. It's really, how are we weighing these positives, okay, compared to the negatives? And how many negatives really is there with this guy?
I feel like there's a lot, and, I don't think we're going to necessarily, we're not going to see the actual end of this soon, but I just don't feel like this is going well.